Hi guys, happy Sunday with Satan. So, alright, back to Traditional Witchcraft. Alright, so the three realms. There are three main realms within Traditional Witchcraft, and this gets really interesting and we'll go into a lot more, so it's going to be pretty cool. So, alright, so we have the three realms. Alright, now, in most traditional cultures, people have viewed both the outer world and our inner world, our inner planes, are correlate concepts. So, where the macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm and vice versa. I know, it's very hard to understand, but it's not really. So, where did I go? Oh, a great many of these cultures, including the ones which the American folkloric tradition draws spiritual nourishment. So, the universe, both the inner and outer planes, as divided into three distinct realms of existence. Wisdom, healing, and magic. So worldwide, these three realms can be said to incorporate an upper realm, heavenly celestial sphere, a middle realm, earthly terrestrial sphere, and a lower realm, the infernal and underworldly sphere. So the beneficence or maleficence associated with these realms is dependent on the culture. Each has its own dangers and its own rewards, so each is inhabited by its own sort of people, guarded by its own warriors, and ruled by its own leaders. So yes, it's very different in each different tradition within Traditional Witchcraft, but it's basically, we have a common theme. We have a very structured, we do have a structure, it's very structured, but there's so much room for creativity, for what you want it to be, for what you want to experience, so it's just amazing. It really is. So, alright, where'd I go? Okay, so American folkloric practices draw most heavily from Celtic lore and Druidic practice. So, the upper realm is called Kegent, which, is basically an airy sphere of intellect, ideas, and future sight. So the middle realm is earthly, Gwynd, which is here and now, consensus reality. The lower realm is called Upred. So, and it is a watery realm of the subconscious, emotions, memories, and the past. So you see how everything is kind of just past, present, future. Kind of, you see the connection there. So these realms are accessed spiritually through the use of shamanistic trance. A shamanistic trance. So techniques that generally incorporate the image of a world tree or a holy mountain. That's why I say get a picture of the tree, the world tree. Get one of those for like 99 cents, $1.99, $2 on Amazon. You can get like a huge poster of the Tree of Life, and then you can traverse through that tree, which is good. Projecting yourself into it. So, alright, now where did I go? Okay, so blah blah blah, world tree or a holy mountain. So, alright, now both of these images represent a concept called the axis mundi, so the cross of the world. Now, it is nearly universally perceived spiritual and energetic construct. So, Carl Jung, love him, who doesn't, describes this phenomena as the collective unconscious. So, or the Akashic records in whatever religion, I think it's Wicca. But anyways, so yes, it is the collective unconsciousness of the entire world. So it is also called the consciousness unit. However, we define or describe it. Shamans and witches have been going to the tree or the mountain since time immemorial to tap into the wisdom, insight, and healing that can be actually found within. So that's really, really interesting. That's really interesting to actually be able to do that, to traverse through these different realms, and I think all of you can do that. It's pretty amazing. So, alright, now, where'd I go? Here I am. For purposes of spiritual travel or your witch flight, which is the flying ointments, which is literally, it induces astral projection or hallucinations. So be careful with those kinds of herbs in what you're doing with, which is flying ointment. So that's where the riding the broom came from, to the Sabbath, the witch's Sabbath. So, alright, so we use the image of the spiral castle. It's just a spiral, a very distinct spiral, and I will, yes, I'll show you guys. So, it's spinning around to open its gate to the different point of the wheel of the year. So its spire reaches up to the North Star, and its caverns are home to the Great Forge and the Cauldron. So the pole is symbolized literally in our circles by the raising of the stang, or the staff, which is this giant thing right there. What is going on? Why am I getting myself caught on everything? There we go. Alright, so where to go? Okay, so the pole is simply, I already told you that. So, by its virtue, we can actually ride the stang to any place in the realms, though we may also use our own personal riding pole, or grand ray, to do so. So, we'll go into that then at a later time, because it's very difficult. Alright, so here are some associations for each of the three realms. The first realm is Kujiant, upper world, upper realm, realm of sky, wind, other world, struggle and enlightenment. Preservation, the undying realm, the absence of decay. Birth and beginnings, the mind, breath, expansion, expansiveness, perspective, movement. Setting in motion, beginning, initiation. So first arm of the Triskel. Spire of the spiral castle. Entry through flight or climbing. Metacognition, black knife, or your athame. Very, very simple. So the second realm is Gwynedd. Earth, world, center world, realm of land, middle earth. Day-to-day struggles and concerns. Consensus reality, the here and the now. Physicality, living bones and flesh. Harsh realities, progress, action, doing, going through something. Middles, limits and limitations, perceived and real. Second arm of Triskel. Place the doorway of the spiral castle and the tour on which the castle sits. No entry needed, already in this realm. Manipulation of perception, or changing one's reality. Glamoury, consciousness, white knife, the bowling. The third realm. This is very interesting stuff. I love it. I just love it. The third realm. So, Abred, underworld, realm of the sea. Barrows. Cairns and caves. Initiation, dragon chamber beneath the tour of the castle. Deep mystery, truth beyond substance or thought. Emotion, healing the soul. Rest, death and preparation. Empathy, blood, birth fluids, menses, semen, and sweat. Oceans, lakes, ponds, and pools. Your inner self. Subliminal, unconscious, subconscious. And entry through caves, wells, etc. Springs and wells bring energy, life from the third realm to the second. So, third leg Triskel. Red knife, Schleg, Shelg. So those are the three realms. What do you guys think of those? Would you guys be able to traverse those realms? Get into them and see what is going on? It's very interesting. It's a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting subject. I love it. I think it's incredible. So, those are the three realms. Let's see. What should we go through? Let's see. We did the three realms. What do I want to tell you guys? We could actually do, let's see, this Stang in the World Tree. So, little bit of, just a little bit of background information, key points that are very important for this work. So this is having to do with the three worlds, or the realms. So, the Stang on the hill, or the World Tree, or the Spiral Castle. Alright, now a spiral castle is a mound with a tower on top of it, a castle tower, and it's spiraled all around it, and that is how you get into it. It's a fairy mound, a goddess mound, basically. So, alright, this spiral castle tradition doesn't actively work with a world tree image per se. So, that is to say, we don't use the image of a tree to serve the purpose of what the world does in the cultures in which a world tree is found. However, both our spiral castle and our Stang upon the ancestral mound, which sits in the middle of the physical space of the compass as we work magic, serve exactly the same purpose, as I believe you will see. Alright, now we have some background and purpose of the world tree. I personally still use an image of it. I just drew it out in my grimoire. Right, so the mythology and the function of the world tree seems to be a universal theme in all cultures all over the world. So, reference to a world tree or cosmic tree, the tree of life, etc., can be found in the Scandinavian, the Finnish, the Baltic, Hindu, Shinto, Native American, Mayan, Siberian, Hebrew, Christian, Egyptian, Mediterranean, Byzantine, and Celtic spiritual beliefs and practices, to name only a few, the most easily discovered. So we don't know where else these people are using, this technique with the world tree. So, let's see. The world tree takes many forms and extends into many realms. So it's associated with many animals, but essentially has the same function in each culture. It always, no matter which version of the world tree is being described, connects the realms of existence in sort of a pathway that is, or is a symbol of, the act of creation. So, I love this stuff. I just love this stuff. So, where'd I go? Yeah, so through it, communication and the gaining of knowledge is possible. So, it is a symbol of both the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm. We are the microcosms inside the macrocosm. So, we are tiny people inside of a giant macrocosm. Macro, big. Micro, us. Alright, so, where'd I go? Oh, okay, so it's infinitely complex and surprisingly simple. Yes, within everything is a mystery. So, that is traditional witchcraft. Now, connecting these realms. It's pretty interesting. So the world tree connects the realms of existence as they are seen and numbered according to a particular culture. So it just depends on what culture you're coming from. The most common representation of this seems to be the idea of three realms, sometimes being divided into three sections, the upper, middle, and lower realms, usually described as the heavens, earth, and the underworld, or the lands of the gods, the land of men and the land of the dead, the pale ones below, Elfheim. So, now, communication and messages. This is the good stuff. Many of the gods receive messages from animals or spirit beings who travel up and down the tree. Likewise, shamans and priests or priestesses the world over are said to have the ability to climb the tree to gain knowledge or wisdom of the other realms and to communicate with both the deity and the dead. So this allows them then to bring back the advice of wishes of the spirits that guard and protect human life. Indeed, one of the shaman's or priest's responsibilities have always been to know the wishes of deity in whatever form it takes, and to communicate those wishes and wisdom to people. So this is if you're working in a community, a coven. Now we have consciousness unit. So this is just, amazing. I love this. This is just incredibly amazing. I don't know why I love this so much. So the consciousness unit. So, alright, this is really good. This is my favorite out of everything I've ever done on YouTube with traditional witchcraft. I'm sure I've done a lot more videos. This is my favorite right here. So, alright. So, there is a body of evidence that suggests that the world tree is a depiction of the consciousness unit, or CU. So, sometimes also called the collective unconsciousness, though I think this is a misnomer, since so many spiritual seekers are, in fact, conscious of it. So, those who have been trained in out-of-body, meditative, and astral techniques have all witnessed a similar structure that can be described as a tree. However, in some cultures it was described as a mountain, hill, mound, tor, or a tent, in our case, a castle. So, it is generally seen as nested spheres of energy or consciousness. On the Cosmic Tarot, the Fool card, your different bubbles. They're like bubbles. Those are the different realms. And there's 3. So that pertains to this and the tarot. So, where'd it go? Yes, okay, so one structure that houses several others, which houses yet more. Although the people who saw it were all likely to have seen exactly the same structure. They used different words to describe it when they were once again in the physical world. So this, of course, would all be based on cultural and linguistic limitations and understandings. The most universal depiction is that of the tree. So everybody knows what a tree looks like. Everybody in this world. I mean, even if you're like born blind, you still know what a tree is. You have those senses to literally see. You don't have to be able to see with your eyeballs, but see. So it's very, very, very neat. Now, priestly training. I don't know about this, but in many cultures there is the pervasive use of the world tree as a tool for the training and initiation of priests or shamans through the ceremonies, doing somewhat. Many of them involve a time of sacrifice upon the tree. So others require that the initiate climb the tree either physically, spiritually, or both to seek the information to trace the steps of creation or wisdom. So it is, of course, not surprising then to think of Odin's 9 nights on Yggdrasil, I think that's how you say that, as a sort of initiatory model. So leading to the use of vision quests, the witch's cradle, and the actual climbing of a tree as part of a priest's initiatory process. I don't want to climb a tree. Not literally. So the hangman in the tarot card, in the tarot could be said to be suspended from the world tree to seek a new perspective or initiation into greater mysteries. Alright, so there we're going into we went from the Fool to the hangman. Alright, now stars in the world tree. There is a great association between the world tree and 2 specific celestial bodies. The first is the North Star, the pole star. In many cultures, the star is said to be the pin or the tack at the top of the world tree. It reminds me of the star at the top of a Christmas tree, literally. So, okay, so Okay, so the other celestial body associated with the world tree, specifically in many cultures, is the Milky Way. Literally, the Egyptians, yes, big time associate the Milky Way. Alright, so of course, you take some liberty in referring to an entire galaxy as one celestial body, but the idea is understood. In some depictions, the Milky Way is called the world tree. In others, it is seen as a perpendicular to the world tree. So in fact, the Mayan calendar is said to spring from the world tree. It is this same calendar which, with the Mayans' uncanny mathematical understanding of the wobble or precession of the Earth's axis, dates the winter solstice of 2012 as the point when the next cycle of that same wobble will begin. It is on this date that the North Star from the Earth's point of view will point directly into the center of the Milky Way. So, the starry connection to the world tree are significant for the tradition at hand, as well in Robert Cochrane's. I love him. His work is amazing. Very good. So, I mean, books, yes, with him. So, in his writings, pay attention to his references to Car Ocran. They are in close concert and connection to the statement, "I am a hill, a mound." So, which he follows up with a description of castles of 7 gates upon a gloomy hill, turning to the elements. Okay, so now we have crosses and mountains. So, now, crosses and mountains are being grouped together because people see them as too similar. The two are very similar. So, perpendicular and diversions, right? Whatever, yeah. So versions of the world tree concept, mountains, specifically have been used in several works as other ways of seeing the CU. The thing that the world tree represents. This is to say everything. So, Alright, the perpendicular meeting between two poles, columns, pillars is the symbol of a cross. It is balance. It is life hinged on wisdom, and wisdom hinged on life. So it is the cross of sacrifice as seen in the Christian mythologies. It is the equiliteral cross of the elements in the Celtic cosmology. So it is the tree on which Odin hung. Moreover, it is the crossroads at which magic and initiation happens. So it's very interesting. Very. So, alright. Then there is the mountain, whose base is the horizontal axis, the line from the base to the peak to the vertical axis. So in some cultures, a specific mountain has been their world mount. And mountains the world cover have been deemed as sacred. So in fact, many cultures have created mountains as representations of the concepts embodied within the world tree concept. The Great Pyramid of Egypt is a prime example of this. While the Celtic tours are examples known to many others, the sacred mountain concept connects the realms, just as the world tree does. So, the tour provides access to the three realms. Medieval witches too were said to fly to Bald Mountain at Samhain for their great reveal. Alright, so now we have a Stang rider. Just as a priest or shaman is trained to ride the tree, so is a witch or any one of us, of sorceress ilk, trained to ride the Stang along through the spiral castle, flying on the broom. The broom, after all, is fashioned from a forked staff, so a Stang at its heart. So these tools are aids in achieving soul flight and fully experiencing the world within. The world within us. So before and behind us, below and above us, in great many ways, they are all the same, just fashioned in a different package. So it's pretty interesting. It's a very, very interesting for all of this. I think that's it for today. I really think that's it for today. We have animals of the world tree, so I'll just go into that for just a bit. So typically eagles are said to dwell in the uppermost branches of the world tree, which other birds in some of the lower ones. So deer and horses are associated with the trunk of the tree, while snakes are seen twisting around the roots. Although these images are fairly consistent throughout the various cultures. The Norse Yggdrasil houses all of them, and a few others. Specifically, there is an eagle at the top, which associates the eagle in anybody's mind then with the pole star, the North Star. So between the eagle's eyes perched a hawk, and then there is a dragon that is twisted among the roots, as well as other snakes and serpents who help him gnaw at those roots. A certain squirrel delivers messages between the dragon and the eagle, who are feuding. Other bringers of messages associated with the tree are the ravens, who bring messages to Odin, or Midgard and Niflheim, the middle and lower realms. So those are also stags, a goat, and a hart, who ram the branches and trunk and eat the leaves of the tree. Very interesting, isn't it? Traditional witchcraft is very deep. Alright, so interestingly, the name of the tree means Odin's horse, because he rode to attain enlightenment. The hangman. So, this is interesting because so many of the other world tree mythologies have sacred kings or gods teaching their horses to the trunk of the tree. Tethering their horses to the trunk of the tree. Furthermore, though, the word Kabbalah is derived from that same Latin word as the word for horse. Ecus. I don't know. It seems like a stretch, but the Spanish word for horse is caballo, and the Italian is cavallo. Cavallo. Yes, I can do Italian, and I can do a little bit of Italian, a lot of Spanish, which certainly shows the progression of the world into diversions. So, therefore, horses are largely associated with the world tree, so much so, that at least one version of the world tree is named as a sort of horse, a meaning in itself of traveling. So this is all connecting us. This shows us how we are all connected through the world tree, through all of it. And it's pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. Which I really, really like. I think it's amazing. I really, really do. How do I... Whoopsie-doopsie-doo. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, I love this information. It's incredibly amazing. Why am I tripping over everything? So yes, guys, our little bit of traditional witchcraft lesson for the day, for our Witchy Wednesday, for our Sundays with Satan. So, what do you guys think? How do you guys do? What do you guys think about this? The three worlds, traversing through those three worlds, and you know, how we have the staff or the stang. It's, you know, forked. The middle, the axis, is the balance between the worlds. Do you guys have a broom too? What do you guys think about the broom idea? I want to know. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. So, I love you all. I will be doing some major healing work tonight for a few of my dear, close people, because, yes, they are going through some hard times. So, if anybody wants to just throw out some prayers, you know, just, you know, towards, yeah, just throw out some good words, good thoughts, good vibes. So, but alright, guys, I hope you have a very good day. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving coming up. So, and make sure you watch Lucy Davis's, which is Auntie Hilda, her video on her Thanksgiving, her vegan Thanksgiving for PETA. I hate PETA, but I love Lucy, Auntie Hilda, so you guys should check her out. She's amazing. She's on YouTube, so check her out. PETA only uses celebrities, so that's a good thing, because they wouldn't want me. Alright, guys, I love you all very, very much. All my heart, all the way from Venus, all the way back down. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you guys for watching. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying this series. So, thank you guys.